Okay, let's get right into it. All right. You know, um, when I'm watching certain films or movies, I'm always looking for details, small nuances, things that's not that be placed in like an entertaining movie or destruction or action film. I look for small little details. Details tell you everything. So that's why with me, like even when I'm reading, details are very important. So, so I was watching this film, and it's a theme I always notice for most of these movies, like a lot of apocalyptic movies. They always try to use what was that movie called? Hmm, um, was it Core? But anyway, it's the thing I wanted to say is this movie I'm talking about that I watched previously just now. Is called The Day the Earth Stood Still. But there's an original one, 1951, that came out, and then there's one that came out later with Keanu Reeves in it. But what I've noticed, so I've seen the cast in from 1951 movie. That was the original one. Also, I received this information from Brother Bobby Hemmett, but he was talking about how the day the earth stood still is actually about um, Master Farad Muhammad when he was out in California. He decided to flee and went to Detroit instead. So, with that, with me saying that, I would just say I haven't seen. Well, the funny thing is, I wanted the original movie. I wanted the newer version with Keanu Reeves in it, so I got it right. I didn't know it was a three part. So it was actually the first part is actually the third disc. It's a three disc movie, special edition, and I'm gonna check out the 1951 one also too also. But I wanted to check out the one with Keanu Reeves because it's more closer to our time. So one thing I noticed, you're gonna have a variation of people. In the 50s, they would have us doing certain faces or always smiling or bug dancing, whatever it is. They would have us in certain films. So when I saw the cast of the movie, I looked it up on Google. The cast, was all Caucasian or so-called white. So I wanted to get this one, but little did I know the 1951 version, the original, was actually in the casing of this movie. So I'm gonna check it out. So, but the newer one, I was able to because I saw the preview of it before, and when I watched the preview, something told me to check it out. So when I was checking out the movie today, after I actually got to watch it, um, something that really stuck out to me. Armageddon, that's what it was called. Armageddon. It wasn't the core, it was Armageddon. Armageddon with Bruce Willis. But if you ever watch Bruce Willis watch Armageddon, and the beginning of the movie there's Mark Curry from Hanging with Mr. Cooper, and you'll have Eddie Griffin from Malcolm and Eddie TV show. So you have two very high profile comedians. They're also highly melanated, dark featured, um, so-called black, so-called African American people in the film. So they say, hey, I bet most of these directors of movies, they do this for a reason and on purpose. They're like, hey, we want you in this very high profile Hollywood film. Would you like to be in it? But one thing is one thing I wanted to I saw. I was like, they were only in the beginning of the movie. Only in the beginning of the movie when everything was starting to happen. They wasn't in the vital parts or the dramatic parts or anything. Eddie Griffin almost got into a fight with a Samoan about his dog, and then like something hit down in New York. He said, "Somebody call 911. We need help." 911, 911, or is actually Lakshmi. So they're actually using. Again, I have videos dealing with in Lakshmi, or the opposite of Lakshmi, or the upside down of 611 instead of 911 is a Lakshmi. A in front of the Lakshmi. Alakshmi. But Lakshmi is Lakshmi. Lakshmi. So Lakshmi is a female deity or principle of or energy of good fortune. Alakshmi, and she is like the alternative. You know how they say like how is a difference between Satan and God or whatever, but like she's more of like the destructive side, Alakshmi. So so they use. I was saying that so I can get you to get where I'm coming, where I'm going to. Uh, so okay. So they use us highly melanated, so-called black, so-called African American people, dark-skinned people, in movies as batteries. So if you ever look at a lot of destruction movies or apocalyptic movies, so if you, as you know, we're in 2021, which is not the new year. The new year comes in when spring hits. But okay, that's when the new, because nothing. How can it be a new year if everything is still dead, like the leaves and stuff, and the flowers and stuff is still dead in the earth? So the earth is actually regenerating, and you're going to see a lot of rain, water, vitalization, revitalize. The body is made out of 70% water, just like the earth is. So that means it's reawakening, it's reemerging. More life has been put back into it. So getting back to the movie, so if you look at Armageddon, Mark Curry and Eddie Griffin, there's going to be like an asteroid falling or a piece of asteroid falling, and right in the middle of New York City. Yeah, it should be New York City, and yeah, that's where it's at. And so when they hit, of course, Eddie Griffin say, somebody call 911. We need help. We need help. And Mark Curry, he's a cab driver for an Asian couple, and the Asian couple in the back seat, and they like, she wants to go shopping. And he's like, whatever, and then he's like, and Mark Curry is like giving him like, he's a cab driver trying to pretty much pedal him or where it needs to be at, and so he can make some more extra money, whatever. And then everything started exploding, and he was. His energy is going up too, yelling, screaming. Energy when you're angry or you're high strung, your energy is in that. So that means there's power in that. So there's a video by Serious Times, and it's called The Theology of Hate. They would put up, well, we're not gonna do that, but the theology of hate and anger. Anger when you're upset, you build, that's the type of energy you have inside you. It's like a mass of energy, and it's like building. And if you don't be able to control it, and when you're able to control it, that means bringing order to chaos. So melanin, high volumes of it is chaos, or small volumes or high volumes is how much you can be able to use it. So when your anger is like portrayed out, you can do certain things as a part of your magic. That's how you're able to make things move, pretty much with your mind. Or you can say things like if you thirsty, you like you somebody in the kitchen, you're like, hey, give me that glass of water. Like you finna get some water. Can you give me a glass of water too? It's almost like your magic has brought them. Your water, your magic has told them to bring you some water since they're already up there, and you didn't have to get up there because they're already standing there. So it's almost like the same thing with these movies. So the movie is The Day the Earth Stood Still. You can check it out yourself too. Also, if you have like any of these, it might be on like a Netflix or a Hulu or whatever. But I got mine on DVD today. So you can, when you check it out, you're able to see you're gonna be able to see what I'm saying. So I've noticed. So like I was saying with Armageddon, they were only in Mark Curry and Eddie Griffin were only in the beginning of the movie. They were only in the beginning of the movie only to pull that energy to have them stop something. That means they're using our people as in a ritual. In a ritual, as in, if they can get if they need, oh, somebody call 911, we need help. Then the melanin is used, and then they're going to use that in a movie to correlate them taking care of that whole situation or their whole problem. And if they take care of their whole problem, that the melanin from those two comedians, two actors, at the beginning of the movie, they're like the battery, and that's like, and when they, I'm trying to slow down so you can stay with me. So the battery is the melanin, is high volumes of melanin. So everything on the planet has melanin. Animals, plants, even white people have melanin. All people, everything in the planet, in order to live on this here, you have to have melanin. So some things have more, some things has less. So so they're able to do that. So if you got to look, let's go to mythology. So let's go to Sumerian mythology. In Sumerian mythology, um, Tiamat and Kingu and they were taken out by Marduk, their son, which is looked at as what? God. So if, remember in the Bible it says, "Let there be light." So if there wasn't light, there was always darkness. So you got to think about it like this. So there's like, it's funny. That's why I always do all my videos in darkness, or to the point where you can't see me. All you do is hear my voice or whatever I'm showing you. Any types of books, passages, films, cartoons, pictures, whatever it is. But I don't, because it's almost like you're in my mind. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to see me as in third person. You're seeing what I'm displaying to you from my mind. Okay, that's why I always do this. I never really explained it, but I'm gonna get right to what I wanted to tell y'all. So that's why I say, so if we're in darkness, so if they said let there be light, that means, so if Marduk, all right, all right, I'm gonna stay on task. My mind is a lot of places at once. I'm just trying to bring it into one, so you understand where I'm coming from. Okay, so if you go to the Sumerian mythology, Marduk escapes from Tiamat's stomach when she's having him. He's formulated. He decided to take himself out, cut herself out of the womb of Tiamat, which is the darkness. So like the sun revolves around the earth, or this third dimension, where there's light. So one place where the sun is shining at is dark somewhere in the other part of the world, right? Okay. So if that's the case, that means the sun is a later invention, which means God is a later invention. Okay, think about it. God is a later invention. If he said, let there be light," there was no light. So there would be no time. Time would not exist. These bodies would not, we come from the blood in the body of Kingu. So the blood of Tiamat, we come from the blood of Tiamat in the body of Kingu together. So that's, same thing. This earth was all like, it's been here for a long time. That's where the battle was fought. So he killed his parents, and he decided to be, I'm number one. I'm the big honcho. So when he decided to be number one and become, he could have been even stronger, but he couldn't wait to come out. So he decided to tear a hole into his mother's womb. You can look it up in Sumerian mythology, and you can piece it together for yourself. And if I'm wrong, leave a comment, and I can go look at it myself, and say, hey, okay, that's wrong, and I'd rather get it right. And show me. You can send me whatever. Send me something, a little piece showing that. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm right, I'm not looking to be right. I just want it to make sense, So, but anyway, so Marduk tears out of his mother's womb and kills his parents. He beheads his mother, and then he becomes and he burns them. Just like the same thing with the Titans. When cause Zeus he comes from the Titans. He decided to destroy them and use a lightning bolt to burn them into pieces, into ashes. And the ashes are what we turn into us, our bodies. Okay, our body and the blood from the titanium of what? The Titans, or the Titan. Remember Titanic? They sunk the Titanic. That's like the same thing as another ritual in a movie. I've come to find out they had like a on that boat they had That's another ritual to actually stop energy, to take down the Titanic, the Titans, to destroy the Titans with the Titanic. But it was also a sarcophagus from a high-profile king or a sultan um, from later from ancient times. So that's these movies are actual rituals. So we actually seeing them, but not breaking it down. So if we're looking at so remembering when the Titans, when he hit him with lightning bolts, his parents, and turned him into ash, and our bodies, the human bodies, are from the Titans. Remember, Prometheus stole the fire from the gods and sent it to man. Man, which is what? Because Prometheus is a Titan too. So Prometheus decided to put the tube or the fire in the tube and give it to man, which is what the Kundalini or the energy. That's what all this correlates to. What I'm talking about, how black people always use a battery. That's the Kundalini, and the Kundalini is your spine. Like you see the sign at a hospital. You got the two snakes swirling, going to the top of the staff, and the wings at the top. That's what I'm talking about. So when they go, when you see the dot at the top of the staff, that's the pineal gland or the black dot, which is in the mind, or the mind of highly melanated people, dark skinned people, so-called black, so-called African American people. So I'm closing it in, I'm bringing it all so you can see it's in different mythologies. So if now another thing before I get back to that, now I want you to think about this. If different mythologies have the same course of action, as in how the story goes, pretty much. I just gave you some Greek mythology with the Titans and Zeus, and then I gave you Sumerian mythology with Tiamat, Kingu, and Marduk. So that's two areas, two different names of deities, but they have the same storyline. So that means ancient black people, or ancient so-called black people, ancient highly melanated people, we wrote these mythologies a long time ago in order for us to realize what we are and who we are and what type of power we come from. So God is a later invention, and God is here to slow you down from actually becoming what you actually supposed to be. So now I said all that to say this. No, so we coming back full circle now, right? So I said when I broke away and I'm coming back. So when I was telling you about the two snakes, the two serpents going up the staff. That's Moses' staff, pretty much, and like Tahuti. You see Tahuti in Egyptian mythology. You see, or you call him Hermes in Greek mythology. See, different names, different places, the same story. Okay, so all right. Let me see. Okay, all right. So that's the battery, the Kundalini, or in the spine where the vessels are, or the blood vessels are. That's the battery, and it goes up to where the pineal gland. So a lot of people don't have pineal glands is fully active, or is calcified. Uh, Caucasian or so-called or so-called white people, theirs is, it doesn't fully work, or doesn't work till its full capability. So they know this. They know who we are. They know who they are. They know they come from us. We created these people with and spliced our genes with animal genes in order to create them. So if they know this, they're gonna put people in movies because they know actors need jobs, and when they need jobs, they say, hey, they don't know what this movie is fully about. They'll get the script, but they don't know in detail what they're doing. It's a full out ritual. So what we're putting them into, and actually order to slow down their process. So when I say that, these people that's in Hollywood, they're actually slowing down so-called black people, so-called African American, highly melanated, dark-skinned people. They're slowing down our process all these years with these certain movies or whatever. Because reason why I say that, listen to me clearly. So they'll put you in a movie in order to, it's like programming. They'll make a movie, and then once we watch it, they'll be like, we'll be hoping that the so-called good guy wins it. But that good guy in the film is actually going against what we supposed to be doing. We supposed to be going back to the darkness, the chaos realm. The chaos realm is above the heaven or the sky realm, or it's out there in deep space. Space is like it's not, it's an illusion, or it's a hologram. So it's everything outside yourself is inside yourself. As above, so below. Same thing. So you got to think about it. If that's the case, if we come from the utter overall darkness and everything inside us is dark, we have to think, if they're using us, that means they're using us in order to stop something from happening. They're using us to get in the way of what's supposed to be happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you pictures of all the melanated people. I'm watching the movie like, man, there's a lot of melanated people in these films, in this film here. So they have one guy's one of a general. One guy, he's actually, I think Brandon T. Jackson. He's actually sitting at a desk for, he only got 2 lines in the movie. You see him 2 lines and he's out. You got one lady, she walks into the bathroom. She's with this, the army, and she asked to use the lady. She said, "Is that a cell phone?" And then she's like, "Yes." He said, "Can I use it?" Like, cause you know what I'm saying, they thinking the world's about to end. So you see what I'm saying? So we don't fully know, because we all indoctrinated as in Christianity or Islam, and we that's the one they gave to us. I mean, it's been partialized. A lot of the books that were in a full container has been taken out. So if a lot of those books have been taken out, that means we have to find those other books and piece all these pieces from all around the world together in order to put ourselves back together. Just like the earth was one, which is called Atlas or Atlantis. Atlantis was called Atlas at one point. That's why when you see on the map, take a look at the Atlas. They don't want to call it Atlantis. Then they'll know, people will know it comes even older. Okay, so the world was one time called Atlantis, or it meant Atlas. That's why you see on those maps Atlas. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get into the pictures. You'll see all these people in the film. All right, hold on, I'm going to pause it.
Vegetables? Ew. Stop being such a stepmom. Stop being such a stepmom. Where'd you get this?
So as you see, well, in the movie, his mother died giving birth to him, and then his father died in the army, and so he's left or stuck with his stepmom because his dad ended up having a relationship with his stepmom. And so as you see, he's part of it too, the ritual too. He's a battery in the film, just like his father, Will Smith, as in Independence Day. When he took out the aliens, well, we are highly melanated people, so-called black people. We are the real aliens. Okay, let's put this to rest and put this to bed. There's no physical beings coming outside of the planetary or the so-called third dimension, or this so-called Earth. Everything is inside you. But the thing is, we're awakening our soul. The soul, those are the actual, the energies coming in, was awakening on the inside of us. That's all it is. I'm gonna show you more people in this film they're using as a battery. Okay, remember what I told you. Will Smith, Independence Day, the first one, he was a battery against. They use all these films. I'm telling you, a lot of these sci-fi films, you'll see it. But check this out.
Why don't they evacuate the area?
We simply do not have enough time.
There's another one right there, right? Okay.
that a cell phone? Can I borrow it?
See the concern on her face? You're going to start crying. They're using the energy against us. We don't even realize, as I said, if we don't have the information or knowledge to realize what's going on, we're actually hindering our own progress. We're impeding our own progress. See that? Can I borrow it? Like I want to call my family, my children. You just can't leave this. We're all gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Like this human, like this physical existence is everything. It's not. This is actually the illusion. So when the illusion is wiped out, everything that's real, the real things, the real shit is gonna be what it's supposed to be. It's gonna be what it's supposed to be. Utter complete darkness, chaos. That's something. That's why I say time doesn't exist. It only exists when the sun is there. No, what do they use? A sundial. Okay. All right. Let's keep it going. We got more to show.
Primordial black hole, perhaps. What? Do you know what that was?
Primordial black hole. Now think about this. Primitive. They always say, oh, these people are primitive. But primitive means what? First. Primordial black hole means first. What? So, the black hole is actually your heart. So remember, you go, your head is your heaven, your stomach is your hell. When your stomach is growling, you hungry, I'm gonna unleash hell if I don't eat something. So that's bringing the physical down to the body, right? Okay. That makes it what? Earth, or the physical. When you don't eat, you're actually hungry. Okay, so primordial black hole. That's what everything in existence before everything. It was there first. Prime, like Optimus Prime. He was one of the first. Remember, one of the first. One of the strongest. So primordial black hole. This is all in existence because we all come from the darkness. Highly melanated people. We come from the darkness. So God doesn't love you. God hates you. God wants you to worship and praise and give tithes and give your energy over to Him and pray to that coward. The reason why I say that because in order for us to get to our full potential strength or energy of what we're supposed to be doing and get to the next realm, we're stuck here in these bodies. So until that time happens, I'm going to continue to turn up, and I'm not stopping. I'm going to continue to turn up. I'm going to make sense of everything that I see it. I can put in my grasp and make sense of it and destroy this illusion around us. Ashe, watch this.
Look, whatever it is, if this object is moving at 3 times 10 to the 7th meters per second, there will be no aftermath.
Okay, so you saw his hair. You see his hair and his beard. He's like he's a Sufi or a Persian. A lot of people don't have that type of texture. So he's one too also. But his name is, what was it, Yusuf? Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it was Yusuf. Just so you can get a better look at his hair and his beard. Just so you can see. So we have Dravidian people in India too. Dravidian, if you look it up online on Google, Dravidian people, Dravidian, are dark-skinned people. Okay, let's keep it going. So I said mythology is written by our ancestors. Okay, our so-called black ancestors, the dark, highly melanated people, dark-skinned people, created all mythology for us to get it in our minds, understand it again, what we're supposed to become and what we're supposed to go back to. Right there. You see the guy, I'm going to replay it again so you can see.
Heart rate is stabilizing. It's stabilizing.
Madam Secretary, we lost contact with one of our DSCS-3 listening satellites orbiting Earth.
What is that image?
So as you see, those are like light beings, or like they'll explain it in the movie as being an alien. But remember, the light inside the body. So you have a light. um, how do you? I want to try to explain it so you can get what I'm saying. You have a light radiance of yourself. So when you say let your light shine, so that it's just the light inside you, encased inside of this body. So it's just in the darkness. But remember, light only comes from darkness. Remember, the sun. He said, "Let there be light," but the light wasn't there. It had to come from the power of his parents. He didn't absorb all their power because he wasn't in there for a full time inside the Sumerian mythology, inside the womb of his mother Tiamat. So when he decided to escape out of her womb, he didn't get all of his full power, potential powers. So that's why as humans we have the power, or as in highly dark skinned or dark skinned, highly melanated, so-called black. I emphasize this all the time. So-called black, so-called African American. We are the key. The people in the so-called black people in the West. We are the key. They know this. Like so-called Masons know this. They're not. To me, I don't consider them real Masons. It's a tag for them. I can just know what, just something so you can understand. I can call them. They just receive information from people to do certain bidding against us, so we won't get to our full potential power. So Masons, they only receive certain rituals from God is Himself, through certain people, because remember, God, He walks through certain people. So when you're giving your energy or you're praying to Him, He's actually going to be able to walk through you. So it's a lot of people on this earth is still not really real people, like as in, you see them physically, but on the inside, something ain't right with them. I mean, something ain't right because it's something else controlling them. They've been walked through. Okay, they can do this in and out of a body. But while we're in these bodies, if people are still alive that have real souls, they got to go against the grain. They got to go against the grain. But anyway, let's keep it going. I'm going to show you. As you saw, he was a general. Okay, I'm going to show you some more.
Target acquired and confirmed, sir. We are locked on.
Madam Secretary.
Sidewinder missiles on.
So as you saw, he said he gave him the order. So it's like the same thing with it's funny because tomorrow is so-called National Martin Luther King Day, but Friday was actually his actual birthday. So Monday they celebrated. So all right, ancestors, that while I'm recording this, 3232 just passed. Be balanced. Before the video goes off, they use Martin Luther King's energy as the battery in order for our people to be docile. So I'm glad I got that out. I wanted to get that out because me saying that he didn't write the speech for "I Have a Dream." Somebody, like the people that started the NAACP, were Ashkenazi Jews. They are the people that gave him that speech. Their dream was our nightmare. So they know in order for us